What is up, everyone? I gotta grab the mic like I'm a like the old singers and shit. You know what I mean? Nah, what's going on? I am here. You can see who I'm with. Someone very amazing. Someone I love. The greatest. This I am here with Ghost of Blue.
You make
Ghost.
me blush already.
Ghost of BLU. You deserve it, man. You deserve all the love. But what is up, my guy?
Not a lot, man. I'm fucking knackered. I've just come off the late shift at work. Um,
Ah,
Literally just pulled up. I'm in like a pitch black Starbucks car park. Like
man.
nobody's about, so perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, shoot. I know how that feels, man. But man, so besides like the long work, your day been good and productive? Anything happened,
Nah, to be
No?
honest, nah. I woke up at about 11 o'clock. Because I went to sleep at about 4 last night. Well,
Mm.
this morning. Um, got up, had breakfast. About an hour later, I had dinner, and then I went to work at 2 o'clock, and it's now just got midnight here,
Oh,
and I've just finished work, and the same again tomorrow, sadly.
oh shit. Well, man, you won't have to do that no more. You're gonna be selling out tours. You know what I mean? It's gonna happen.
Fingers crossed. That's the dream. That's the dream.
I know it's gonna happen, but of course, thank you. We fam, we go way back, but I still appreciate you doing this for me, helping me out.
Nah, for sure, man. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. So let's start. I start what everyone starts. uh, so what made you want to start doing music?
Well, music kind of goes quite a while back for me. Like, despite looking fairly young, I'm actually 26.
Hmm.
I've been brought up on like metal by my sister. I think I was introduced to Slipknot when I was about 9 or 10. Uh, and from there, I kind of, oh, funnily enough, I can specifically picture listening to Wait and Bleed. Like back when cassette tapes were a thing, I used to like rip cassettes onto CDs or the other way around. I can't fucking remember. And I used to just pick up on little things. And before I even knew it, I was like working out harmonies to songs and shit like that.
Hmm.
Um, from there, a few years later, I picked up a guitar. I then lied to my mum, telling her that my guitar teacher said that I now needed an electric guitar. So I was fortunate enough to have been bought an electric guitar and amp and shit. Started off playing like Green Day and kind of punk rock shit, and from there, kind of got heavier, heavier, heavier. Learned a bit of drums on the way, bass. Studied it at college after I finished school, and music's kind of been a bit of an obsession for the past 13, 14 years.
Hmm.
And ironically enough, yeah, out of all the instruments that I've kind of picked up on and learned on the way, all I'm doing is vocals now and producing like the odd beat here and there.
Hmm.
So yeah, there's a lot of phases that I've been through. So like I had like a metal phase, and then I had like an indie kind of psychedelic phase, I guess you could call it. And yeah, I've kind of learned loads of different things on the way. I worked in a music shop for 4 years, so
Hmm.
I was kind of exposed to so much various music. So
Hmm.
I like to think I keep an open mind. Um, but yeah, fast forward to today, I've been doing the whole Ghost of Blue thing for 2.5 years now, which seems mad. I never thought I'd be a rapper in inverted commas in my life
Hmm.
because I've always been very conscious of my voice. I did get bullied a little bit at school because I sounded like an alien. Um, their words, not mine. And then yeah, I'm here fucking taking pride in my voice and doing all sorts of weird and wonderful things as Ghost of Blue now.
Weird and wonderful. I love that. Besides the bullying part, they'll learn when you blow up. But
They won't know who I am anymore. I look so different.
oh shit. Well, there's that too. But but yeah. So Oh, another thing. This actually was the real question. The real first one I ask everyone is where are you from? You already explained what you do, but yeah.
For sure, man. I originally come from Northampton,
Mm,
which is in the UK, United Kingdom, Great Britain, all that bullshit.
mm-hmm.
But I actually moved up with my family to North Yorkshire. So yeah, basically just a bit further north to anybody not from the UK.
Okay.
Um, my family moved up kind of over the past 7 or 8 years. I was in a bit of a shit situation, and I just wanted to I just fancied a change of scenery. And yeah, currently living with my parents in Yorkshire,
Mm-hmm.
making music in my bedroom and trying to make money so I can move out and push to make this more of a full-time thing.
I love it. I love that. Okay. Okay. Um. So with the music that you make, it's well. I'll ask you that first. Like, can you explain for the people that probably don't know too much about you, like what genre selection you do as Ghost of Blue? Or what you've been doing.
For sure, man. So, I mean, in other people's words, I guess you could say I make trap metal. Um, that is in my particular case, uh, kind of heavier, distorted rap beats with
Mm-hmm.
heavy metal influence and stuff like that. And I mainly kind of do more screaming orientated vocals. So just high pitched, shrieky, noisy vocals, which most people can't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And a bit of rap as well. I'm slowly trying to bring my voice, my natural kind of rap voice, into my music a bit more now.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, trap metal, in the
Trap
words of
metal.
others. I've always called it rage.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Bit of a niche genre, bit underground still, to say the least. It's
Right.
coming up though. So yeah, that's the scene, I guess you could.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's the thing. Like, I get talked trash about so much if I say the word trap metal, because they like no, life it's rage, it's ragecore. Let's rage. I'm like okay, ragecore. Like I interchange the words so much. I don't understand. I forget people like hate trap metal. The word, So
To be completely honest, I've embraced it now. I mean,
okay.
I'm not the, few thousand people that listen to my music and put it into this genre.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I make. I like what I make. If people want to put it as shadow rap or rage or trap metal or ragecore, whatever, I'm cool with it. I'm kind of past it now. At one point, I was like, "Whoa, no, it can't be called trap metal. We call that." But to
Mm-hmm.
be completely honest with you, I'm not in control of that. People can kind of put me in whatever pigeonhole they like. I just roll with it. I just make music and have fun doing it.
That's dope. That's dope. So, in the community, the trap metal, ragecore, whatever community, the underground community that you're in, who are some of like your other favorite artists that, either that you have worked with or haven't, or who are some people you think are cool?
Well, to go kind of right back to the start of Blue Boy, which was kind of pre Ghost of Blue, which is how I got my name. I won't go into that too much. Um, I started a collective with my friend Junior, who you'll find as Junior Ending, which is called Ends. And he was kind of the first major influence on me in terms of pushing myself. He was the first kind of person overseas to go, yo, what you're doing is sick. Like, I really want to, work with you and continue to push ourselves together. Um, Through Junior, I met loads of various different people, like people from Michigan, where he's based, um, and kind of started networking. Another one of my favorites from the group is Left Hand Luck.
Mm,
Um, Over the past kind of year or so, I found myself very much influenced by Istasha or Istasha the Scrub. Um, and yeah, just kind of a lot of friends, Honja, Seven, Project, kind of a good few of the usual suspects, though I kind of take influence from everybody I've worked with or want to work with or listen to. Everybody's kind of got their own thing going on, and in one way or another, they seem to influence me. So for the most part, like everybody I listen to influences me.
Mm,
But yeah, I mean, to set a couple of examples, yeah, the names I mentioned before, for
mm-hmm.
sure.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. So I like the names that you mentioned. I kind of want to know. Um, so as you know, like the genre, like people take certain influences from the genre into their vocals. Like Hanja, obviously, like his biggest influences like death metal and deathcore. Uh, he incorporates that into rage, trap metal, whatever. Seven kind of goes more for I would say like post hardcore, probably emo post hardcore, probably a little death metal in there too, or deathcore. What would you say yours? Like which one do you borrow from? Would you say?
Uh, I mean, I should imagine a lot of people would say deathcore.
Mm-hmm.
However, I've always been kind of like a straight metalhead. Like the first real metal band that got me hooked was Trivium, though
Mm-hmm.
there's not really much in the way of high pitched vocals from Trivium. They're kind of what I personally think I kind of take from most.
Mm-hmm.
However, um, in terms of what I sound like, I mean, I don't want to put myself in this, in the same realm as this guy, but
Right.
Alex Kohler from Chelsea Grin,
Oh,
he's got
okay.
insane high pitched vocals. And yeah, so I probably deathcore,
Mm-hmm.
Suicide Silence. I've been compared to Mitch Lucker in the past, which is a big kind of honor. Rest in peace, Mitch Lucker.
Yeah.
So yeah, deathcore. I guess you could probably say I took the oh shit, there goes my line. Took the sound from or borrowed from. Um, but yeah, in terms of vocals, I take influence from anywhere,
Yeah.
anything.
That's
Again,
dope. That's dope. I could hear it. You've always been pretty versatile, which I think a lot of people, which is why I think your following is so huge. A lot of people gravitate to it. So that's pretty cool.
thank you.
Of course, I was just wondering because most people have like a specific, sub genre of metal or whatever that they incorporate into it. So that's why I just thought it was cool to ask. But where did you figure out that you can scream? When did you learn? Because you said you've always been a metal fan, so you probably found this out early in life, or
It, Pretty early, actually. I have my sister to thank for that, and I have a feeling she'll watch this at some point. So, Bex, thank you so much.
shout
I
out
don't
Sister
think I've ever
Blue.
actually thanked you. um, but yeah, going back to the Slipknot album, it was a self-titled album. I can't remember what year it came out or whether I got it the year it came out or what. But I remember just kind of attempting to do this fucking Corey Taylor voice, and my sister said, "James, you can scream." And I didn't really think much of it, but I ended up kind of pursuing it and learnt a bit more about the technique behind it kind of years later. Because in the beginning, as I'm sure you can imagine, 8, 9 years old, I was just going and thinking I could, make the best sound ever. But yeah, I think it was early on that I kind of realized I could scream, but not until kind of 2 or 3 years ago where I started kind of putting kind of more time and effort and thought and care into my voice.
Hmm. Okay, okay. Shoot. So out of a lot of the songs that you've done, which one would you say? Well, actually, I'm sorry I skipped ahead a lot. Forgive me. What I want to ask first
Boom.
is, what are some songs that you do that well, do you put? That's a weird way to say it. Do you put emotion in your music at all? Like, what's the process of like making a lot of your music, if it's emotion driven or not?
A lot of it is quite passive in a way. Um, to a lot of people, some people would probably say, "Oh, your music doesn't make sense. Like it's not directly about something." And that was actually influenced going back to Trivium. They released their think it was their fifth album called In Waves. And the singer Matt Heafy, who is my like all-time idol, when he was asked about like the lyrical content and what it's about, it was kind of, it was very much a, you've got to interpret the songs as you like rather than what I'm saying they're about. So a lot of my music is quite indirect. A lot of people probably don't think it makes a whole lot of sense, but in my mind, it makes sense. And ultimately, I do make the music for myself. So I look back on it and I'm like, whoa, I was going through a shit time. But it's not all shit. It could be about somebody or something that annoys me or anything. But I do have a song, you know, kind of opposing that. I do have a song called Fuck It All, which is produced by Florency. And that song is very much like I was the closest I've ever been to, you know, killing myself, basically. I was in such a shit place in my life. I hated my job. I hated everything that was going on around me. I wasn't really sure whether the music thing was my thing or anything, to be honest. I really wasn't sure about life. Um, and that song is very much I hate everything. Fuck it all. I mean, the lyrics, fuck it all. I'm not trying anymore. Fuck you all. These tears will never cease to fall. So yeah, some of the lyrics are very obvious what the music is about. Some of it's quite fictional, about killing people and that. And I think a lot of people get caught up in the whole, well, you're saying that you're going to kill someone or you're going to put a blade to their neck and you don't actually mean it. Well, it's a fucking song at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but without going off on too much of a tangent there, um, back to the original question. Yeah, some of the music is very raw, emotional, straight from the heart. Some of it is not so direct, and some of it is just, yeah, like I say, if someone's pissing me off, I'll find a way to kind of write about it and implement it into my music that way.
Do you find that your music like is it the influences your fans a lot? Like, do they tell you that this song helped me or put me in this mood or things like that?
I have had a couple of really nice messages. One in particular from a fan in Australia, and again, I have a feeling he might watch this. So if you're out there, man, I'm still with you and I love you. I did have a message saying I'd kind of discovered you, looked into your lyrics, and they really helped me through one of the shittest times, if not the worst time of my life. Um, I've had a few people like message me on like Instagram, like, yeah, I can really relate to some of the shit that you're saying. Like, thank you for making this music. It's got me through some hard times. So I know that it has impacted and influenced a few people. Yeah. Thankfully, in the right way. Thankfully, nobody's gone, oh shit, like you said, you're a killer. That means I'm a killer. That means I'm gonna go out and fucking shoot up a school or something like that.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, so I am thankful to know that yeah, the music has helped people in one way or another.
That's dope. That's dope. So I'm someone that's pretty new to the whole. I'll just call them like rock genres as a whole. That's like including metal, including hardcore, and all that punk. I'm kind of new to that. So someone that's
Yeah,
grown up on it, like, do you think like this, especially this modern like wave of rap, at least a lot of the underground, this community as well as the emo community, whatever, like, in contrast, how is it to like what metal and rock and everything used to be? Like, what's the is there any like correlation? Because obviously, I feel like you said it yourself. You're like inspired by a lot of old metal, like. But I guess what I'm trying to ask is like, what's the like transition? Like what are the differences and similarities that you see?
for sure, man. Well, I mean, the best kind of easiest example that I often think of, which is quite funny really, is how Limp Bizkit were always kind of a metal band, but they put kind of rap into that. Rage Against the Machine, a lot of rap influenced stuff, with noises and all that shit from Tom Morello. Um, I just kind of, I literally think of it as the opposite now. I think all these kind of metalheads getting into rap music. I mean, we've had people like Suicide Boys, Ghostman, Puya, all those kind of people that are kind of bringing this whole new element to rap music. I mean, at least me growing up, I'm the opposite to you. Like, I'm fairly newish to rap music in general. I always thought it was about, like gangs and that kind of culture without kind of making any horrible assumptions or anything like that. Um, but yeah, like people bringing like metal influenced lyrics over to rap really grabbed me anyway. Um, so I think it's easy to kind of trans is the word transition between the two of them anyway. Like for example, like heavy rap or trap metal into like rap metal, which bizarrely sounds exactly the same but is completely different musically. Um, I think they kind of work hand in hand ultimately. I mean, although they're not a rap metal band, I've got a show on Saturday, which will be the 29th of June, um, kind of going forward from the date of this. And I'm actually playing with a couple of metal bands.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so I genuinely think they work hand in hand. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Um, so so like you said, how this is more of like rap going more so into metal. This is just a question that is just I've had, and this is like the perfect time to ask now. Is do you dislike a lot of the aesthetic base of it? Like, because you're someone that grew up on it. Like, you actually are like a metal purist. So like to see all these newer kids or whatever the case is, like try so hard to be metal and as rap, and they don't really understand it or do like what's your opinion on like this new wave of it?
Initially, I was kind of like, these kids haven't got a clue. I'll be honest. But going forward, I mean, people probably thought that when I started getting into metal as a kid, like people probably thought, oh, you never listened to, I don't know, for example, Slayer, Metallica back in the 80s. Like you weren't even born then. And if you kind of stay having that kind of opinion, I think it can intoxicate you, to be honest. I'd kind of learnt to get over it, had a good word with myself about it, to be honest, because it was a bit like these kids don't know anything. But it's going to happen with any type, anything, any kind of culture, anything you can be a fan of, like hobbies, anything like that. There's always going to be the people that like, oh yeah, you weren't there years ago when this happened or this happened.
Right.
People are just going to adopt different types of music or hobbies, like I say, and just do their own thing with them.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not really opposed to it anymore as much as I used to be. I used to be quite stubborn, but I mean, I'm one person. There's what, nearly 7 billion people in this world.
Right.
I'm not gonna sit here getting pissed off because they're doing whatever the fuck they want with their lives. You know what I mean?
Right. That's true. That's true. My thing, like, I asked that question just to clarify, because more like, I feel like a lot of people try to become or blend into one of the into like these different categories and subcultures, and they don't really understand. I feel like some people like claim claim goth, but are actually like doing elements of emo and alternative, and like are doing punk. You know what I mean? It's like I don't think they really understand it, because it was like a thing. Like people that were goth. Like people that it's just sort of different now, and especially with like rap and hip hop influence in it. That's why I asked the question.
For sure, man. I mean, kind of going on from that. I mean, at least in the UK anyway, kind of goths and what we kind of called grebos were different to the people that listened to rap and
Mm.
wore Nike and stuff like that. They were two completely different sets of people, and if they crossed paths, like there'd be violence. And that was only, I don't know, like that was only like 15 to 20 years ago.
Right.
I mean, in terms of like teenagers and shit like that. I mean, it might not have been the same everywhere else, but at least kind of where I grew up, my sister brought me up and I used to hang out with goths and shit like that. if you stumbled across a gang of people with Adidas fucking tracksuits, Nike t-shirt, and a TN hat or something,
Mm.
like chances are you were gonna get beat. Like it's so weird.
Yeah.
So I mean, in that respect, for all this to kind of come together, at least for me, because I've kind of been on both sides of the fence at some point in my life, it's kind of the ultimate thing for me, I guess,
That's
for
dope.
lack of a better way of explaining it.
That's dope. So I don't want to go like I don't want to keep going on this topic, but my last question is like, do you, excuse me, do you feel like the new Scar Lords and the Ghost Mains and whatnot? Do you feel like you said, because they mix a lot of the metal, emo, all those different alternative subcultures and whatnot, and like hip hop? Like, do you think these are like the new Slipknot, the new, Deftones, you know what I mean? The different how metal. Do you think this is
Sure.
the newer version of it, like you or all people that do this style?
I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's still its own scene. It's still its own genre
Mm-hmm.
or genres. Um, I mean, again, like I said, there's nearly 7 billion people in this world, and there's something out there for everybody. And whether people kind of gravitate towards that, I I don't know. I mean, for example, I mean, I know you mentioned Scarlord and Ghostman. They're doing really well, obviously. Um, but I mean, there's no reason they can't be, and there's no reason other upcoming artists can be, or whatever. I think there's room for anybody and anything to kind of make something huge. I mean, at least to my knowledge, I mean, K-pop's only become like a huge thing because of BTS and stuff like that over the past kind of couple of years. I mean, there's always been people that have followed it. Um, I mean, I completely lack knowledge in this field, but there's people that have always kind of followed it, but
Mm-hmm.
now it's a huge, huge thing. BTS, at least, are absolutely huge. I don't know any other K-pop bands, but it's the best example. So
Right.
there's no reason why Ghostwayne or Scarlord can't take over the world as well. You know,
Mm.
like I said, there's something out there for everybody. All you need to do is hear it for the first time, know whether you can connect to it or not, and the decision has been made for you.
Hmm. That's true. That's true. Um. So just for you, how did you find the community? Like, when did you figure out? How did you find out about like the trap metal, whatever community? If
To
you.
be honest, it's kind of a weird one. I mean, I think it was more a coincidence than anything. Again, without going too much into it, before I was Ghost of Blue, I was Blue Boy, which is where the name kind of stems from. And I met Goth online and just through the whole SoundCloud thing. And I don't even know really how it all came about, but I just thought I'm gonna scream on a track. I mean, I can't lose anything by doing it, and I did. And from that moment forward, I just kind of started finding all these people, and then before you know it, there's like a scene in front of me. I don't really know how it came about or anything like that. Um, yeah, I don't really know how I got here, to be honest. I just kind of made the music and it kind of formed a circle around me, if you know what I mean. And wherever I look now, yeah, it's trap metal or, scream artists and shit like that.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Um. So, out of the songs that you've done, which one would you say is your favorite?
It's a difficult one. I was actually thinking about it all at work earlier, knowing that I was going to speak to yourself, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't really know. I mean, various songs have had different like creative processes. Some songs have been more difficult to record than others. But I think the ultimate kind of favorite, looking back, which I have said to people before, and I've already mentioned it in this video, is fuck it all.
Mm.
And that's because it's kind of the most intense, raw energy and emotion that I've ever put into a song in my life, let alone, in the whole Ghost of Blue thing.
Mm.
So I think I'd naturally gravitate towards that. However, one of the more popular songs of mine, Killer, was that was I think that has a special place in my heart because of just how it came about. I'd already written the lyrics and shit like that. And then this guy called Hemorrhage messaged me, sent me this beat. No, he sent me like an instrumental EP. He was like, you can use any of these beats. And I was like, yeah, cool. Had a listen through them. And I saw this. Oh, that's a nice car. And I saw this. I heard this song and I can't even remember what he called it. It was called Eternal something, which was quite funny because it ended up on an EP with a song called Eternal Dreams. But I listened to it and I was like, I've got to use that. I looked in my notes on my phone and I was like, I'm dead and fucking washed now. And it completely clicked. And from that moment, I was like, this is a good song. This is gonna be one of the best of my songs, in my opinion, anyway. Um, and little and behold, a couple years later now, it's one of my more popular songs. So, like I said, everything's kind of got kind of its own attributes. I
Mm.
think that's the word. I'm not very good at
No,
literacy.
that's
Um,
it makes sense.
but yeah, like some songs are kind of like they were just kind of lyrics waiting to be put on a beat, and then some of them, like I say, have got emotional energy and yeah. So yeah, probably Fuck It All and Killer. They'll probably be up there with my favorites anyway. I'm
Okay.
so good at drawing out these questions.
No, that's good. Okay, okay, that's what's up. Um, so this might be a dumb question for me, but I just want to know what's your like favorite process of, because you produce too, right?
I try
You
every
try.
now and then.
Since you do it, so what's like your favorite process in song making, like, period?
Uh, Probably specifically the moment from when I finish the lyrics, because I write everything out on my phone. I'll write if it's screaming, I'll write it all in capitals. If it's like a triplet, like a different kind of flow, I'll put it in brackets. And as soon as I've got that all mapped out on my phone and I know how I want to record it, it's the moment before setting my laptop up and my speakers and stuff like that, where I know exactly what I want to do, how I want it to sound, and stuff like that. That is my absolute favorite moment. It
Mm.
doesn't always have to be the end product for me because I enjoy the creative process in general. But yeah, like I say, just that moment before the recording when I'm like, I know exactly where all this is going, which I'm quite happy to say has been the case for most of my more recent songs. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it's going. And there is my answer to that question.
Dope, dope. Okay, that was interesting. So, oh, of course. What collectives are you in? And I don't remember where I heard this from, but I heard rumors that you might start a band or be in a band, or if it ever
I'm
even happened.
I'm actually in a band.
See, okay, yeah. So yeah, I heard this a while ago. So yeah, but yeah. So what are your
Yeah, yeah.
collectives and what's your like band name? If you answer that.
So my original kind of my brothers and mums were called Ends,
Mm-hmm.
which you can find us if you're interested in hearing everybody else's music as well. It's at Ends underscore X.
Okay, I'll be in the description.
Literally on everything. Um, yeah, I mean, Hell Trees as well. I think I'm kind of 50-50 with those. It's kind of either or. It's very, I'm part of them, but not like directly, as far as I know, if that makes sense.
Mm.
And I'm also in a metal band called Crow, which you can find us as. Oh shit! I think it's We Are Crow or This Is Crow. That's how out of the loop I am with the band. I've been so focused on everything else.
Mm,
But I originally played bass with them and did like production and shit. But now I'm playing guitar for them and kind of having a bit more input into the creative process.
okay, okay,
And so those are the three, yeah.
okay, okay. Would you ever want to do vocals for the band?
I think I'm doing kind of backup vocals, yeah,
Okay,
like backing vocals in general. Yeah, I'm not the main vocalist, no.
okay, okay. Um, so and so talk about and so like where do you guys like just as the group, not you per se yet. We'll plug you, but as in ends, like what are you guys cooking up anything, or is some group
Literally
collabs?
always.
Uh-oh,
I
uh-oh.
haven't done a whole lot with them recently, but yeah, I mean, IMA has, or AMA, however people want to interpret that, has just released a new album. There's constant collaborations between everyone. The producers all get together and make some absolutely amazing shit. Um, a lot of the rappers, like literally everybody's constantly collaborate. Like they're, in my opinion, they're the kind of we are the kind of tight knit group that I know of anyway. Like everybody's always got something in the works, and I've always been, well, I say always. I mean, the past kind of year, I've been kind of doing my own thing, obviously chasing the trap metal and stuff like that. Um, but in the past, like we've released some amazing songs, and yeah, those guys are always working with each other, literally always. So yeah, I mean, there's like 11, 12 of us, so I'm not going to name everybody now, but like I say, at ends underscore X, there's a bunch of us, and Junior is songs on my new EP as well. So it'll be finally really nice to have worked with someone from the collective. It's about time.
Dope, dope. So yeah, let's talk about the EP coming out and like other stuff that you got planned. So what's that all about?
So I've released the first song of my off my upcoming EP, which is called Spectre. I've released a song called All My Dreams, which is produced by Amatum. And yeah, I've got another four songs coming out. A couple with features, like I said, Junior is on one. Another one has Depth Strider and Seven on it. And
Okay.
then yeah, so I've got another four songs coming out to complete the EP called Spectre. A single in the works, which I'm deciding whether I'm going to release before or after the EP drops. um, which is called Losing Sight Again. Bit of an Attack on Titan names out there.
Okay.
And sorry about that. My cat gave up. um, yeah, so that's very much based on Attack on Titan. Um, a few kind of crazy moments in the most recent series.
Mm.
Um, and I just had to do something about that. I had to get it in the music somewhere. That's quite a different sounding trap metal song.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be an interesting one for people to hear anyway. But well, yeah. So in total, I've got five new songs kind of in the works slash ready slash yeah. And then whatever happens after that happens.
Dope. I like that. Okay, something a little excited to look forward to. Okay, okay. Uh, any shows you have you done? You've done shows before. I've seen your shows, but uh, so yeah, what was it like doing the shows? I should ask them because it took me a second to
Uh,
remember.
Nerve wracking to be honest. Although I always put on the most confident act slash face whatever. it's always nerve-wracking because I've always played guitar in bands and shit, like I said. Um, and to go up there suddenly with your tracks just stood on stage with a microphone and everything is in your hands made me absolutely brick it. But I've played three shows as Ghost of Blue, and I've got one coming up this weekend.
Mm.
This time I'm a little more prepared. I've kind of got everything organized, and I kind of know a bit more what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna present myself, and shit like that. It was a very weird feeling, but I think it's more nervousness because I hadn't done it before. So this next show, I am really excited to be playing.
Dope, dope. Okay, okay. Dream collab right now. If you could, what is your ultimate? Does not matter. It's no limited to just one person or a few people. I don't care if it's 100. What is your dream collab? I want to know.
Does it have to be like one track?
No. Okay, dream collabs. I should say.
Uh, well, I mean, it's not really a dream collab because I really want to work with him and we've talked about it already. But it's Tasha the Scrub. I'm such a fan of him. I'd love him to produce a beat, obviously feature on the track, and have a left hand luck on that track as well, like us three on an Tasha beat. That would be sick. If I got to collab with other people, it would kind of be heroes like uh, Matt Heafy from Trivium. Um, doing vocals on a track or something like that. And I'd love to have a beat. Like the absolute dream would to be have some kind of beat made by Kevin Parker from Tame Impala.
Okay.
He doesn't make anything music anything like what I do, but I just think it would be fun to do something so drastically different if
Mm-hmm.
I ever had the chance, which I doubt it. But yeah, I'd probably say they're the absolute dreams for me.
I love that. I love that. Okay, okay. Um, so Ghost of what is the Ghost of Blue style like? What's your fashion, your dress, your, you know, how you look? What's your ideal fashion?
I'm looking at myself now, and oh
I mean, you
man,
got off work,
that
so
yeah, yeah. Um, I mean, generally, I kind of live in like cargos or like not skinny jeans, but skinny-ish jeans. Um, I haven't really had much money recently to buy like kicks and shit, but I live in a couple of pairs of Air Max at the moment.
hmm.
I've got a pair of 98s, 95s, and some Air Monarchs. Um, Hoodies are generally pretty plain. Um, I don't know why I just like a plain hoodie or a plain like jumper or something. T-shirt, uh, again, pretty plain. I like stripes. Stripes are my shit.
Hmm.
And I don't wear nail varnish anymore.
Hmm.
Um, and I literally live in a hat, like a beanie or a cap or something like that.
Dope,
It's
dope.
I've not really got a whole lot going on, to be completely honest with you. I'm not really that fashion orientated anymore like I used to be. I just
No,
kind of
no
wear
Ghost of
whatever I
Blue
think.
merch. We ain't getting no Ghost of Blue merch.
I've got a hoodie on the way to play a showing
Yes.
on Saturday. As long as the quality and everything comes out all right, I'll be dropping them next week.
Dope. Okay, okay. Keep an XL on call for me. So I let you know.
Oh, for sure, I'll hook you up, man.
Bet,
Definitely.
bet. Of course, of course. Let me see. Oh, so like yeah. How so? Did you stop stretching your ears? I know you stretched your ears for a certain point.
Yeah, I think I stopped stretching them about 6 years ago now.
Mm,
They're at 30 mil. I don't know how that translates to like gauge or whatever in America, but
mm,
30 mil, like they were pretty big at one point. Um, I've kind of neglected them because I don't really care anymore. And
mm.
they're like 14, 13, 14 mil. So they're just these holes now. The town I live in, it's quite funny. Like the town I live in is just full of old people that don't appear to have seen them before. So if I have a conversation with someone, chances are they're staring at my ears.
Oh man, that sucks. Sorry, I laughed. I just imagined opening
Nah,
style hair. Yes.
it's so normal for me now. Like if it's not that, it's the fact that I've got long hair. Like I
uh,
said, like because I always live in a hat, my hair's tied up like behind my hat. So on the odd occasion I go out and just have my hair down, people are like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" It's quite funny, really, people's reactions. But
that's dope. That's dope. Um, Gotta ask. I don't know if you date anyone that'll get you in trouble, but I just want to know who's your celebrity crush. I hope I just don't get you in trouble.
oh, Margot Robbie, hands down, Margot
Margot
Robbie.
Robbie. She's an
Um,
actress,
I'm
right?
not much of a I'm not much of a film nerd. Yeah,
Uh,
actress, but oh, what was it? Was it Wolf on Wall Street? Was that Margot Robbie? I'm probably completely wrong. That could have been Cameron Diaz,
hmm.
but either of them two. But yeah, Margot Robbie is like the ultimate for me, I think.
Ultimate. Okay, that sounds like a good pick. I have to look her up again. I forgot. I be asking people this question. They be saying names. It was like it sound familiar, but I'm like I'll pay
For sure,
attention.
man. Yeah, I hear that. Like I said, like if people talk about like actors or actresses and they're like, oh, they're so hot, I'm like, I have no idea who the fuck you're on
Right?
about.
It's
So
like who's
I
that?
get you, man.
That's true. That's dope. That's dope. Um, what's your favorite food?
Ultimate favorite food would be my mum's roast dinner, like a good bit of pork chops.
Mm.
I'm a pretty fussy eater. I eat a lot of kind of plain stuff, but pork chops, chicken gravy, peas, really fucking fluffy roast potatoes, and Yorkshire pudding is the ultimate. Now, I'm probably going to sound like a dick, but do you guys like have Yorkshire pudding over there and stuff
Yorkshire.
like
Yeah,
that?
we have Yorkshire pudding.
Yorkshire pudding.
Hmm.
Yorkshire pudding.
That's
Yeah,
the way
like
you
I
say
live in
it.
Yorkshire. I can't even talk in an American accent. It's sounding more Irish.
That's cool. Yeah, well, no, you did it pretty well. But yeah, we have Yorkshire. We don't. I don't think we probably eat it. It's not as common, I bet, as it is out there. But we have it.
Every Sunday, man. If I don't have my Yorkshire pudding on a Sunday, something's wrong.
Oh damn. Okay, I gotta make sure he
But
get
yeah,
his pudding. When you come
that's
to the
the ultimate.
states, when you come to the states and do a show, I got you. Make sure we got the pudding on deck, especially if it's Sunday.
Hey,
But no, that's dope. You coming to the states? I don't know if you've been.
I haven't been yet, but I'm absolutely dying to. Most of pretty much all of the Ends boys are based in the States, so I'd really love to kind of come out and hang out with them. Obviously, along this journey so far, I've met so many people from the States in particular, and I'd love to meet everybody ultimately. But yeah, I haven't been out, but I would like to. As soon as I know what I'm doing, I've moved out, got my own place, start trying to make a bit of money on music. Who knows? I'd
Hmm.
love to be out there, definitely.
That's what's up. That's any ideal cities you want to see the most over here.
In cities, did you say?
Yeah, yeah, cities or states or the places that you want to be in the U.S. Like, what's your ideal
I
places to
mean,
see?
New York. I mean, I'm probably gonna list off like all the
Major
stereotypical, like quintessential fucking
L.A., New York.
American cities. Yeah, yeah, but New York mainly for the skate scene. I don't really skate anymore, but
Mm.
I'd love to go to New York and just watch people skate all day. Um, LA because of well,
It's
everything is
L.A.
LA.
Yeah,
Um, Vegas because
it's
well,
Vegas.
I suppose, yeah. See, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to go to Michigan,
Okay.
to see a lot of the Ends boys. Seattle would be really cool. My friend Wayne, um, who was known as Slaughtered Logos or Slaughtered Art,
Mm.
he lives in Seattle, so I'd love to go visit him. Um, but yeah, I just want to go everywhere, to be
Everywhere.
honest.
Well, let me know if you ever in DC, man. I'm a slide through.
Oh
The
yeah, for sure, man. Again, Washington's another one.
yeah, yeah. So whenever, just let me know. I'm gonna slide through. Hopefully you have a show. I mosh pit on stage next to you.
That'd be
Please let me
sick.
on stage. Please let me on stage.
No, you ain't got to ask me twice.
Bad, bad. Nah. Let me see. Let me see. I don't want to get too controversial, but it's just something to ask. What's your like? Do you have like a religion or belief system or anything?
I don't.
Mm.
Um, I was never. I'm the one person in my family that wasn't christened or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Over the years, being a kid, being closed-minded, I've always been like, like people are stupid for being religious and stuff like that. But I grew up and realized that, some people are religious, some people aren't. Some people eat Yorkshire pudding, some people don't. It's one of those, you
But
know.
something's wrong with them if they don't eat. That's funny.
Nah, but obviously, if you don't mind me mentioning it, I mean, you're Christian, aren't you,
Yeah,
yourself?
yeah.
Yeah. See, it hasn't changed this conversation between us. If you were a Buddha or a Buddhist,
Buddhist,
oh,
yeah.
that makes me sound like a dick.
If I were a
But
booty.
whatever religion, like it doesn't change people unless you sit to me and start preaching at me as what I should do and what I shouldn't do.
Right.
There is no problem with how you go about your life, in my opinion. But for me personally, I'm not religious in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, okay. Um, Even though you're not religious, do you like believe in any like ghosts or aliens or any type of weird shit like that?
I believe there's some sort of energy. I mean, I might be talking absolute bullshit at this
No.
moment in time. So if anybody knows about what I'm about to say, please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But I read about the pineal gland
Mm-hmm.
a few years ago, and there's like a drug involved called
DMT,
DMT.
yeah.
It accesses the pineal gland,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the bit what I'm kind of unsure about. It might be bullshit, but apparently it's created something like 40 days before you're born and like switches off like 40 days after you die or something like that. It seems a bit to me, but I
Oh,
don't know. I feel like there's some kind of energy involved
can I
somewhere,
can I explain
somehow.
that? Can I explain that? Because I
Yeah,
know what it is.
sure. I'm
Okay,
all ears.
so what that is the pineal gland is what your body uses to see and react to light, like through your eyes. So it's their perception through, because that's what we see. That's what sight is. Like everything you see. Like if you're in pitch black darkness, you can't see anything. So light is what we're actually seeing. So the pineal gland is what
Yes.
activates that. So they say like after you die, you know, like you have it like the saying like going into the light and then you black out. It's like a play on
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's what it is. And
Uh,
DMT, like melatonin, is what helps us sleep. That's why people that have like, what's it called when you can't sleep? Because I have it as well, but I don't take melatonin. But you
I
know,
like insomnia.
yeah, insomnia. Like yeah, they take like melatonin pills because it helps them sleep. DMT activates the pineal gland, which produces melatonin. Melatonin helps with darkness. Pineal gland. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
See, it's been educational, man. I appreciate you explaining that, though.
Of
Seriously.
course, of course. But your theory, so like you think like ghosts are like something to do with the pineal gland?
I don't know. I'm not sure I believe in ghosts or anything. I just feel like there's some kind of unexplained energy
Mm-hmm.
like around us. Um, I mean, I've had instances like a lot of people where something's fallen off a table or a
Mm-hmm.
door's opened itself or something like that. But I don't believe that's ghosts or anything of the like. I just think there's some kind of energy. I mean, yeah, chances are, this is my opinion, obviously, but
Mm-hmm.
you probably do just go to sleep and never wake up and nothing ever happens. But I'd like to believe that there's some kind of, like energy, for lack of a better word. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but if there isn't, then, whatever.
Oh, okay. Are you into like any type of conspiracy? Because like I want to know, do you believe like, because you say you've heard like doors open and like things fall off tables. I've just heard this today, actually, like before we did this. There's this thing, and like the head scientist, like like Neil deGrasse Tyson, like he's like a known scientist, and like
The
you
name
know,
rings a bell.
yeah, Elon, Elon Musk.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like them, like they actually believe we're in a matrix, but they think we're like a simulation. So like they think like when you see weird things, like people see ghosts or UFOs or things fall off or something like it's weird stuff, they think that's just because our simulation is messing up. I'm for one like believe in a lot of conspiracies, and that's far fetched for me. But I want to know if, like what you think about that.
I mean, I can understand why they might think it. I'm sure there's some kind of they've got their reasons for believing it, and I won't dispute that.
Mhm.
Um, but it's not something that I could probably kind of roll with myself.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, like I said, I just think there's some kind of
Energy.
energy. I don't think we're in some kind of matrix, but again, people can believe
What
and
they want.
feel and think what they like.
Mhm.
I mean, every religion and every belief kind of has a purpose or some
Right.
kind of reason and stuff like that. So, I mean, who knows? I mean, I don't know what's right or wrong as
Mhm.
much as the next guy, but I mean, it could be. I mean, we could all be what being watched by God. I'm really unsure, but
Mhm.
I mean, if they want to believe that, then cool. I don't really know what
Yeah.
else to say about that, to be honest.
Hmm. True. True. Sometimes I'm sorry. I just think it's fun to speculate. Sometimes I like to hear people's like.
Yeah, for sure,
You
man.
know.
You'll have to bear with me 2 seconds. I really hope this doesn't mess up the call, but I've got to turn the car on. I don't want to kill the little battery.
Oh. Okay.
Are we good?
Yeah. All right. Cool. Cool. Cool.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that my car wasn't gonna die in the middle of this pitch black car park.
Okay. My bad. I hope I'm not taking too long. I ain't wanna.
No, no, not at all, man. I'm very, very, very much happy to be here. Believe
Cool.
me, I'm just overly paranoid about my car. I just love it so
I
much.
got you. Okay. Yeah. So what are some things that what are some things about Ghost of Blue that we don't know? Like what's some like things you're into? Like are you into cars or things like that?
Yeah, I like cars. I've got a little Abarth 595, and
Mhm.
to anybody that doesn't know what that is,
'Cause-
500 that looks cooler, and it's bright green. Yeah, I like cars. I mean, a lot of people kind of this is a common misconception. People think that I'm like quite arrogant and stuff like that. Um, I'm actually, I'm not going to say I'm the nicest guy you'll ever meet because that's bullshit. But I'm really, I'd like to think I'm really approachable. I'd like to think I'm really polite. Um, I like to think I can talk to anybody and everybody. And like I said, I try and live my life with an open mind for the most part. Um, a lot of people think, oh, because you make this kind of music, you're going to be like a murderer, or I don't even know what people think, but a lot of
People
people are
say a
very
lot of shit about it.
surprised when I'm quite forthcoming. I mean, I found a meme the other day, which I actually shared on my Instagram, and it's like two dogs, and it says James IRL, and it's like a little golden retriever puppy type thing, and then it says Ghost of Blue, and it's like this hellhound kind of thing, and loads of my friends actually commented on that, like real life friends commented on it, like this is so true, and I genuinely think that a lot of people don't, you know, think that I'm a human being, and a lot of these artists aren't human beings, but we are. We're all real. Um, Other things that you don't know. I don't really know. Me and my dad have got a little secret handshake.
Oh, that's
Uh,
cool.
I don't actually know. I think I'm quite uh open about my life and things like that.
No
Um,
side hobbies like no video games or like.
Play a lot in the way of video games. I watch a bit of anime every now and then.
Hmm. What's your favorite anime? Well, since you said that.
My all-time favorite's Attack on Titan.
Mm.
Um, I recently finished one called Trickster, um, which was very just happened to find it out. It's pretty cool. Um, I've watched kind of a lot of the quintessential animes like Death Note, Tokyo Ghoul, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and other than that, I don't really have anything kind of particularly exciting to report in terms of things you don't know about Ghost of Blue.
Mm.
I record in my bedroom, which was decorated by my mum because I've just moved in. So I'm making all this kind of loud, distorted music in like a flowery bedroom. Um, Other than that, no, there's not really a whole lot, to be honest.
Mm.
Um, I mean, you've covered most of the kind of things that people might not know or want to know, I guess, but
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what people want to know about me.
Hmm. I do have one more thing to ask, and then I like get more to wrapping up if you're cool with that. Uh,
For sure, man, whatever. It's your thing.
so you don't have to say names, but I do want to know like, have you gotten into any like beefs or seen any beefs up close? Like your friends maybe got into one, and how was it dealt with? Just for like more advice for people.
Um, I mean, personally, I try not to get involved
Mm-hmm.
unless it's really necessary. Um, Seen a lot of stuff go on, particularly in this scene where, people are either jealous or people are just shit talking someone else for absolutely no reason. And I try and kind of walk away from it, to be completely honest. Um, yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter and Instagram where people are just bitching about each other. And I just think, is it worth it? Like, in my opinion, if I've got a problem with somebody, I just won't talk to them. You don't have to go about your life talking shit on them to everybody else. It's not necessary. People will find out for themselves if they want to give that person the time of day. Some people just don't get along. Some people have artistic differences, whatever. Um, the only beef I've had, um, I don't even think it's beef really. It's just negative comments about music, that I'm hiding my screaming behind distortion, or that you can't interpret what I'm saying. I've had a few negative comments in that respect, but not beef exactly. And then I think the old over the time that I've been doing this is being compared to Ghostman.
Oh
He
man.
has always been an influence. I won't deny that, but I had long blonde hair before I even knew who Ghostman was. I'd always kind of cut my hair, sorry, bleached it, dyed it different colors, done all that kind of shit over the years. But then as soon as Ghostman kind of dyed his hair like white or blonde or whatever it was, and I think I'd recently dyed it or grown it out or something. People were starting to see similarity, and obviously the fact that I've got Ghost in my name, like
Right.
Ghost Main. Um, I had like two fan pages. I think they were the same person as well. Like, why are you counterfeit Ghost Main? I was just like, I'm not. Like, if you listen to my music, I don't sound anything like him.
Right. There's nothing the same.
And the fact that we're from two different countries and we have different voices, etc., etc. But other than that, I can safely say, touch wood, that I haven't had any like beef or anything like that. Advice to people that do have beef: just walk away from it. Like, you don't have to. It's like cyberbullying. I personally don't understand it. If you're being bullied on the computer, just block that person, or you know press the X in the corner. I'm not sure how people can find themselves kind of sucked into it. Um, though I don't know it all. But yeah, just walk away from it. If you don't like someone, don't talk to them. Simple as that. That's how I go about my life. Um, and I'd like to think I'm pretty happy as a person, regardless emotional emotionally distressed music I sometimes put out, but that's just my way of venting and keeping myself happy and healthy mentally and physically.
Okay. Okay. That's some good advice right there. So yeah, I guess I can start wrapping it up from here. Like, so you think I've covered a lot of ground? Like, is there anything you feel like I left out?
Like I said, like I think you've pretty much asked me everything. Like you've extracted pretty much everything from my brain now.
Okay.
Um, I can't think of anything else that I might need to inform people about as such.
Right.
Um, yeah, to be honest, man, I think you've got it covered. Yeah.
Dope. Dope. Okay. Okay. Um. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to plug? I don't know if there's anything else. So you said the tape, but
Yeah, for sure, man. So, like I said, I've got an EP called Spectre coming out real soon. Um, constantly going to be putting music out. Um, obviously, I want to promote Ends being my number one collective, promote Hell Trees, and promote my band Crow. All this you can kind of find on my Instagram and stuff like that anyway, and I'll go into that in a minute. And a few kind of friends that have really helped push me as well. So Abyssal Sounds, they do like podcasts and all sorts of different bits and bobs. They host music of mine and they're helping bring artists up as well as themselves because they're not long been established. So big shout out goes to them. Um, my friend Wayne, who I've already mentioned, Slaughtered Art, he does some incredible work. He's done the past two, two or three of my logos, and I think he deserves a lot more recognition than he has. And to anybody who's listened to me, supported me, even sent me a message just saying you rock. Like I honestly really appreciate that. Shouts out to you as well, man, for obviously bringing these people onto your channel and doing what you do. It keeps people entertained, it keeps me entertained, and you're really doing something for the community. And
appreciate it.
anybody else out there who's, trying to make music, don't give up, just keep pushing. That's what I'm doing. And somehow it's slowly working out without sounding, up myself or anything like that. Um, and to, anyone I may meet, anyone I have met, just everybody, just shouts out to everybody. I fucking love you all.
And we love
If you
you.
haven't listened to me, Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, it's all just Ghost of Blue. Blue being probably being the title of this video. And I haven't stopped talking, so I'm gonna
You're good. You said no. You said a lot. This is your time. I wanted you to speak. You. It was everything was great. It was great, man.
no, I appreciate it, man.
Of
No,
course.
honestly though, thank you for everything you do for the community. It's really very much appreciated.
Man, I
Like people
appreciate you
who
saying
make this
that.
whole thing happen.
Much love, man. Of course, this is like I said it before. I think I told you before. I just started out as a fan, like everybody else, and I was just like, F it. Had some people help me, and then I just it's like it's like you on training wheel. Someone pushes you, and then you do the rest. The whole
Oh
way.
yeah, for sure.
That's just kind of what I did, and I love it. I love it. I wish I could do it more. I have a job now. I wish I could do it as much as I did starting out. Slow down a little bit, but
I
still
can
doing it.
relate.
Still love it. So much love. We got to do this again. Like I tell everyone that I don't interview just once. We'll do catch up interviews. Hopefully in a year, maybe less. I need to stop using powder because my I look ashy, but it's actually powder. But yeah, but
No, awesome, man. I'd be very much happy to return as long as you want me. And
of
both
course.
come, how far we've come from now.
Of course, man. I'd love to see you grow. Like everyone, man. It's just it's fun for me. It's enjoyable to see, and you know, I'm in tune. Like everyone, they it's like people meeting Drake or whatever their favorite mainstream artist is. Like this is it for me. So this is why I love it. So feels
Well,
cool.
as one of those artists, I really appreciate that.
Of
And
course,
you make us feel special as well. I might be sat here, just talking, but it makes us feel like people want to know, like there are people out there that want to listen to us and want to know about us personally, etc., etc. And like I say, all goes back to you and what you do. So keeps the whole world turning,
I
spinning,
appreciate it.
going round.
Appreciate it, my brother. But yeah, so of course everything Ghost of Blue will be in the description. Of course, Blue, I'm gonna keep in touch with you. I don't even have to say that. We always talk, but but I know you're always busy. But and I
For
catch you
sure,
when you
man.
can, you know. But yeah, so
Life
like
happens, man.
you heard the man. You heard the man. But yeah, so everything will be in the description. So last again, I keep saying it, but thank you. Much love, man. Much love.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Of course, of course.